Welcome to Faith Fiction and Folklore, or the Triad podcast, where we try not to F it up. And today, on this second segment, we're going to talk about these guys coming across an Amazon pyramid. Sorry, and we're going to be listening to a channel called James. He runs a channel That Is Impossible, and on this personal channel, he does deep dives, and he just kind of shows you what he's looking into for his main channel. And this is where he does all the researching and boring stuff. But he's been doing really good. But anyways, how are you guys doing?
Swell.
Swell. Yeah. So basically, this is over in the Amazon. They found this big doorway, and it leads into this huge pyramid that they found in the Amazon. And I thought that was really cool. So I thought we'd share it.
Let's see what's inside.
Cool beans. I'm gonna try to be looking stuff up here as he's talking, just so y'all know. So you may have to carry the show for a minute, but we'll see.
Carry
on this one, and I didn't want to leave you guys without anything this weekend, so I decided to put two videos together, two videos that I think make sense. Stay tuned for new videos next week, and I'll see you guys then. So this is wow. There are people right now in the Amazon jungle, and they came across what they believe to be a structure in the middle of the jungle.
Galera, nós tá chegando aqui, ó. Cara, é até lá em cima. Vamos subir ali, ó. Mas caramba, mano, será que tem não a cidade perdida do Amazonas? Ratanambá, sei lá. Galera, cansei.
So they climb this place and they find an entrance to what they believe to be this ancient lost world. The same world that Percy Fawcett was looking for in the 1900s when he went to the Amazon jungle looking for it and never returned. And there's something weird going on inside this place.
Pegar mais um vindo ali, ó, se arrastando. Tem outro túnel pra cá.
As always, I'm pretty curious about this kind of stuff, so as I was digging around, I found this insane rabbit hole. Kind of connects the possibility of these ancient civilizations having some sort of connection through a network of underground tunnels. And this could possibly explain why there are certain places in the Amazon forest that are completely restricted and a no-access zone.
Existe lugar controlado pelo exército chamado Quadrilátero Maldito. O nome você já pode ter uma ideia, né?
The question is if this lost city of the Amazon forest actually exists, and if it is somehow connected to other ancient cities throughout the world. Who built this? An advanced civilization? Possibly aliens?
Found all the ruins of...
There was a Spanish explorer who went down the Amazon River system in 1541 to 1542. He was the first European to cross the entire length of South America from west to east along the Amazon. He reported seeing incredible cities, advanced arts and crafts, millions of people, a thriving culture.
Uncle also told them that where the water is very deep, they also go into the water and transforms it to something else.
Now, of course, this is just a myth, but now that we have LiDAR technology and that we actually found massive structures hidden within the Amazon forest, this might all just change.
Pessoal, olha só que coisa curiosa isso aqui, gente, ó. Bem no meio da BR aqui. Olha só isso. Beira da estrada, pessoal. Eu vou ver até onde nós conseguimos ir.
So let's take a look into what these divers found in the Amazon forest, if it has any strange connection with underground tunnels, Grand Canyon, ancient Egypt, and if aliens are somehow...
Before we do that, I'm actually going to show a TikTok video really fast that kind of gives us a broader perspective about what they're talking about. This is a clip from Joe Rogan, actually. or somebody who was on Joe Rogan talking about the same deal.
Good old
Good
Joe.
old Joe. So, okay, we got our volume here.
Is it Graham
It's
Hancock?
not Graham Hancock, no, but I'm sure Graham Hancock would have thoughts on this subject. Might look up what he has to say, actually. All right. So this is going to give us a broad view of what he's talking about.
Xingu region, where all of the major LiDAR came out of. They found all the ruins of these giant cities. You'll see this central city area. You'll see step pyramids and raised platforms. Maybe this is where people lived, or maybe this is where the market was. And there will be a road that cuts straight through it. And you can see the road just
So just so you
goes
know,
off
that graphic that he showed is what that guy was recording through the helicopter image. Just so you know, that grid. So just so we're clear on that.
the distance for miles and miles and miles. And there's a city called Kiriguyu. It had an estimated population of about 1 million people, which is the size of Rome. Here we go. Yeah.
And is all that area covered completely with jungle right now?
Completely covered in jungle. Yeah. So if you went out there,
you wouldn't see any of this.
You may not realize that you were standing on a mound because it's so hard to see it. The jungle just claims everything back.
Okay, so just wanted to throw that out there so we kind of had a idea what he was referring to. Now we'll go back to see if there are tunnels under these cities and whatnot. So here we go.
Now involved. This is the page. These are the water warriors. They are miners and divers, basically mining things, diving in the Amazon River. And these are the videos of them actually coming across this mysterious structure. This
Hang on a minute. Apologies. I'm actually going to look that YouTube channel up really fast because I want to see their stuff directly. So, excuse me. You guys talked amongst yourselves.
Have you heard? So there's Roaring River. Have you heard of that in Missouri?
Yeah.
So there's a aquifer underneath there, and there's a a tunnel that goes straight down all the way. I don't know to where, but I've heard that they've sent divers down there, and like one of them died. Like
it was so deep.
Yeah.
Can't you like put the Statue of Liberty in it?
Yeah, I think you're talking about Deer Leap, I believe is what it's called.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, under Deer Leap.
Yeah, that spring there.
It's pretty cool, man. And the fact that trout just kind of spawn there magically, that's pretty sweet.
Well, that might be the trout
big
farm,
too.
but I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know.
They're not farming fish. What are you talking about?
It's weird. It's weird. It's almost like it's a giant ruse.
Giants.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Tunnels could be.
Could be.
They're tunneling. They're tunneling.
That one tunnel that they showed on that video, it was like on the side of the road, and they're like, "Ooh, it's a mystery. Like nobody's gone in there. There's a road next to it. What do you mean?"
This is not working. Apparently, lots of
a lot
of people apparently have this exact same title for videos and stuff. So there we go. Good night. You'd think after this guy's video they'd be a little larger, but instead we're just getting. Here we go.
Small clips.
Yeah, we're just getting small clips. This thing is not.
It's a conspiracy, bro.
Yeah, they don't want us to know about tunnels that nobody goes to. Maybe there's
conspiracy pyramids
with videos that are all the same name.
Yeah, it's like just a barrage of the same stuff. All right, hang on a minute. Let me try being a little more specific. Amazon City.
So, do you think it's actually connected with all the alien stuff?
No.
Or no?
No, I just think.
No.
You believe in aliens, bro?
I don't know if I believe in aliens or not. I will say this: they say aliens because we need a new religion since we're all nihilistic and godless now. That's part of it.
Okay.
Speaking of I'm joking. I'm not gonna go with that joke. Here's Graham Hancock, by the way.
And the reason they couldn't find them is precisely the reason that you give, which is that the jungle had eaten those cities because the human population had been wiped out by disease brought by the Spaniards. The Spaniards didn't have to have direct contact with those indigenous peoples in the middle of the Amazon. The diseases just jumped from population to population and just killed everybody.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Whoa.
So that was very brief.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so the diseases just wiped those guys out. I wonder why, though, like really, like why they wiped everybody out. But anyway, So I'm still.
Or what kind of disease would wipe everyone out like that?
I think it said smallpox.
Smallpox?
Yeah, I don't know though.
Yeah, I guess that one was pretty
That's the
bad back then.
go-to theory, but I think we'd have to do some homework to see if diseases can really do that. But I don't know. I mean,
Smallpox is always their go-to excuse.
yeah. See, I'm wondering if it's kind of just a go-to excuse. Like, I feel like there would be more to it than just that. But I don't know. I have no evidence to suggest
Oh, the
it.
British brought over smallpox blankets covered in, to the Indians.
Right?
Smallpox.
It's like, is that true?
Smallpox blankets
We
covered
don't
in
know, we
malaria,
weren't there.
covered in, you know.
Did you know like 90% of the smallpox deaths in the 50s were vaccine-derived smallpox?
I'd heard something about that with polio, but I
on
hadn't
paper.
heard about that with smallpox.
Yeah,
Yeah.
polio.
Oh, it's
sorry.
polio. Okay.
Not smallpox. Yeah.
Polio, yeah.
Dude, I cannot find this guy's channel anywhere.
They just poison people, and they're like, "Oh, it's a disease, I guess."
We'll poison these people on purpose and then blame it on this.
Dude, that's crazy. Like, I typed this guy's channel in word for word. Maybe I misspelled it?
Still not popping out.
No, it's not.
Maybe it's a fake channel.
It might be.
Did you say it was a YouTube
Well,
channel
maybe
or a
it's,
TikTok
maybe
channel?
It's TikTok. Maybe it's another group. Because, like, how would I know? So.
It says YouTube, doesn't it?
It says 6 follow. Yeah, it doesn't say. I bet Trevor. I bet you're right. I bet it's another channel, like a TikTok group or something.
Just put it in your
Okay.
browser.
I'll try that. That's what I did at first, but yeah, it didn't
really?
give me anything. Why would they care about whether or not there's a bunch of cities in the dirt? Dad blame
Holy
It's
cow.
Antiquitech, bro. It's Tartaria.
Tartaria. Greg
yeah.
has been getting into that rabbit hole. He's like, I can't believe people
no.
actually think that exists.
The Tartarians?
Yeah, it is. It's
So
TikTok.
stupid. TikTok's
Tik-
a
I am not
TikTok
giving the Chinese
Tarians.
my name. You guys can kiss my butt. So
I actually looked it up here. Smallpox eradication.
yeah, how'd that play out, Mr. Trevor?
At least 3,000 years ago, the variola virus emerged and began causing illness and deaths in human populations, with smallpox outbreaks documented in the historical record. from
Let me
time to
translate
time.
that.
More
Once
than-
upon a time, there was a disease called smallpox.
More than 300 million people died from smallpox in the 20th century.
Don't you love how
alone.
they like spend a paragraph telling you what you already know? It
Wait,
drives me
Let me
insane.
keep reading. Thanks to the success of global vaccination and disease surveillance
Well, that proves it.
programs, in the 60s and 70s, the World Health Assembly declared smallpox the first disease to be globally eradicated.
Because I'm sure a committee would know.
Or
Uh-huh.
or maybe the invention of modern plumbing.
Or regular baths.
Cuts down regular baths cuts down the amount of bacteria that people are living in, and they no longer live in filth, and then
Yeah.
so they don't get sick, and they're like, oh, we fixed it with vaccines. Now take our fucking poison.
You conspiracy theorist, how dare you? How dare you? You challenge this science.
That is from the CDC CDC.
Well, of course it is. Yeah, of course it is. I bet Fauci wrote that. So.
I'm Dr. Fauci. Take
Just the
purple.
science. Okay.
Just the science of Dr.
All right, we'll go
Fauci.
on since I can't find these guys without giving the Chinese my name.
I hate
I know
the
it
internet.
sucks now. It used to be so cool. Now it sucks. It just is so lame.
Dang it, Al Gore's.
Well, they can't. They can't.
Al Gore.
They can't divide long form content and people learning things. So they got to take it over and give
Nope.
us stupid sound bites again.
So is this channel right here? Is this fake?
No, it's a TikTok channel. Yeah, it's a TikTok
okay.
channel. So that's why I
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
able to find it. It's on TikTok. That's why I'm whining about the Chinese. So, yeah, that's good.
My bad. I'm slow.
Mistaken is
Ticker
Ticker
talkers.
talkers.
is the first video. Let's take a look at it.
Galera, nós tá chegando aqui, ó.
Guys,
Ó,
we're
aí,
getting
ó,
closer.
Estamos se aproximando. Toda vez que eu chego aqui perto, mano.
Every time I get close, bro, it's crazy. It's impressive. It's very...
É muito...
Ó,
olha aí, galera. Nós vai
Look,
tentar.
guys, we're trying to...
Vai entrar aqui hoje, galera. Vamos ver se vai dar certo.
Yeah.
There's something there.
Já tá as pedras.
Could be some sort of...
I don't know. I feel like bluffs kind of look like that from time to time. Yeah.
They do. Why wouldn't they show a video of going in? Like, is there anything of them going in? Or is it all just, like...
they start going in here a bit.
Are you guys hearing that static, or is that just me?
I don't hear it.
Yeah, he's got like background sound going on. That's his editing.
No, I've got the video paused. I'm thinking it might be me. Hang on here.
You have personal.
Yeah, I'm having
issues?
personal technical
Sorry.
issues. Give me a second. Apologies.
Plug your headphones in better.
Unplug and plug it back in. Restart your whole system.
Yeah, reboot the whole thing. Whoops. All right, we're good now. I'm no longer sounding like a robot in my ear. All right.
I am robot. Hear me.
Yeah, that just looks
robot.
like bluffs. And now the robot's back. Dad, blame it, Chinese. Stop it. I ain't saying anything that interesting.
It's because you got on TikTok.
Yeah, it's because I got on TikTok. Exactly. I've been bugged.
Ancient construction. That's odd, isn't it?
All right, let me look ahead. You said you want to see tunnels. Here we go. No.
Encounter, especially here in Egypt as well as
Here we go.
in Peru and Bolivia. We're encountering very sophisticated work.
Yeah, that can't be a coincidence. Look at that. That over there is a perfect fit, as if these rocks have been put together.
Aqui, ó.
Looks
Nesse
like a pyramid.
quadrado aqui, ó. Era uma entrada. Olha, galera.
Or a bluff.
Ó o desenho.
Yeah, I'm just seeing bluffs so far. I'm not saying there aren't cities in there, but that doesn't look particularly man-made. Not yet, anyway. Like, yeah, straight lines are a little weird, but they do happen. Like in bluffs and creeks where there's a lot of rainwater and stuff.
Yeah.
At this point, most people were thinking maybe this is just a coincidence. When they find a cave in the entrance, they actually find some markings on it. Let's take a look at this.
Isso aqui é a paredão de pedra.
Pipe.
Vai até lá, ó. Atrás, entendeu?
Wait a minute, what is that?
Atravessar aqui.
That over there. What is that?
Galera ali, ó.
Over
It's a
here.
pipe.
É a paredão de pedra.
Then right before they actually go into the cave, they find this square formation once
It's
again.
an oxidized pipe. That's fine. Somebody drove a pipe in there one time for some reason. That doesn't suggest a whole city, guys.
But how did they get it in that part?
Pour it in. Probably somebody was in there drilling around. Who knows why? Maybe they were mining for
Could've been
oil
from the-
or something. I mean,
Could have been from the 80s.
yeah, it could have
bro.
been from the 80s. Like, you don't know.
Então encaixa, ó. 1, 2, 3.
It's really weird how there's a bunch of perfectly square-shaped rocks put on top of each other in the middle of the Amazon jungle. It could be a coincidence, but then they go into the cave and they find this.
Aí quando chegar lá, o Rodriguinho subiu aqui já. Galera, é uma cavernona, galera. Olha só, gente. É o trem. Galera. Gente, o que é uma... Cadê? Olha aí, cadê? Ai, meu câmera. Cadê? Pra dar luz, pô. Ok, cara. Ok.
What is that?
Cadê a Lumia lá dentro lá? Segunda mão pra vocês. Primeira mão pra vocês. Não é segunda mão. Primeira mão pra vocês. Cara, é tipo uma... O que mesmo isso aí? Uma sala de estar.
Um negócio de árvore.
Petrified tree.
Looks like a key.
Yeah, it looks like a key. Yeah, he's saying it's a petrified tree. It's like, well, yeah, that's there. It's because I know. It's
Crazy.
almost...
It must be man-made.
Yeah, that's the only possible conclusion.
Or alien made.
Well, maybe the planet just isn't millions of years old and petrification happens fast, but that would be crazy.
There you go.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Worldwide flood.
Mm.
Oh no.
What?
I was just going, yeah, worldwide flood. I think that's more likely than radiometric dating, but anyway.
pô.
Or carbon dating.
Raiz de árvore, sei lá.
Olha o símbolo na parede, pegar, ó. Atento a todo momento, né? Eu vou botar aí.
Oh, there's scary music. It must be something.
All right. Do you think that?
Yeah, it's James doing
Do
it.
you think the T section is man-made?
Looks like a footprint.
Aliens cut it. Aliens. The only explanation.
Yeah. That's
So
the
there's
only
some funnel-shaped alien that made a door to its exact proportions. That'd be a.
Yeah, he hit it like Wile E. the Coyote when he smashed into cliffs.
No, I think it was a giant, and he kicked it, and that's
He's
why it
just
looks
having
like
a bad
footprint.
day.
It does not look like a footprint. He'd have really tiny heels.
I thought, okay, that might be
Achilles
man-made.
would be a shit.
That cave might be man-made, but I wasn't sure. I wanted to get.
That doesn't even make sense.
That's why I said
They're
might.
like only bodybuilders fit through the doorway. They're like,
It's just, it's just a
Come on.
weird shape, so I thought maybe.
Maybe the camera's upside
Maybe
down.
the camera's upside down. There we go. There's just somebody with a really long head could fit through there. It's like those gray aliens.
God, I hate TikTok.
Oh man.
So at this point, I kind of get the feeling that they should be there. They know, and they're scared.
Why? Why would you be scared?
Because there's scary music, Gary.
It's like, we shouldn't be here, guys. Well, there might be a cougar. Did you bring a gun? I mean, what are you afraid is gonna happen?
Well,
Did
they
you guys
might
hear
run
that
into.
ominous music that started playing when we walked into the cave?
There might be an anaconda in
Well,
there
those things are slow.
because they're in the
Those things are
Amazon.
slow. You don't need to worry about that.
Yeah. Just don't bring old fella's shotgun.
Yeah, it won't work. It won't work. It'll go right through whatever it hits.
You're shooting blanks.
And there's
This
this moment that
katana
they
would
record
work,
the
though.
cave entrance, and again you have this perfect symmetric shape. Doesn't
Not
look
a
like
perfect
naturally made.
symmetric
And then after going
Here's an approximately symmetric shape. So.
deeper into the cave, they come across this very weird marking on the cave wall. Doesn't look like it's natural to me. So what is that?
Detalhes.
That's weird.
I don't even know what he's pointing at.
You know, like some of these markings actually look like they're symmetrical.
Rocks.
Aonde? Galera, esse risco aqui.
Okay, so that's weird.
Não, sério mesmo, esse risco aqui.
It's not
Olha do
weird.
jeito que ele é
I don't
desenhado.
think this guy knows what the word symmetry
Yeah.
means.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's just saying symmetrical shape, and it's like there is none. What are you talking
Okay, yeah, so for the people on the podcast, this looks like a game of tic-tac-toe, approximately.
I mean,
barely. Barely a game of tic-tac-toe.
Like some old vines or...
Yeah, I mean, it could have been any number of things. It could have been like native sharpening weapons on there, for all we know. I mean, it could be literally
That's true.
anything.
Yeah, that's
Or-
not natural.
Or some sort of
Or
bear.
a bear, for whatever reasons, having a bad day, so he's like, venting his frustrations on a wall. I don't know.
Scrape.
Yeah, scrape. Hey, bucks and bears will do that. They'll scrape on hard surfaces to file down their claws and antlers. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe he got in there.
Could have been a...
Could have been an angry antelope. I don't
angry
know.
antelope.
It's like, again, it's kind of weird, but to go from this to giant city the size of Rome it's what's silly about it.
Well, it might be the size of Rome, like is as far as like how the landscape,
Yeah, but
it
it's
goes from
connecting the two.
Point A to
It's
point B.
connecting the two, It's like, okay, you've got the grid pattern in the forest. That's cool, and that suggests a giant city. I don't know what this suggests.
Yeah.
It could be any number of things. And to say that it all
It suggests they're in a cave.
cumulatively suggests a giant city in Rome's a little ridiculous. Because this could be completely unrelated.
I agree.
So, anyway.
Tipo uma hashtag, jogo da velha.
Yeah, that's not natural.
Não, sério mesmo.
The first detail I should have clued you this guy or anybody in that this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, is that he knows what the word hashtag means. That should knock down your intellect a few points right there. So anyway.
Yeah, there's something really weird about this place. So they continue on going deep into this cave.
Altura. E ali, ó. Ó pegar mais o Wilson vindo ali.
All right, I'm getting bored. So, yeah, this is like a vaguely, there's some vaguely ambiguous kind of weird things in this cave that could be any number of things. And they're assuming giant city or tunnel that leads to a giant city, more specifically. I would need more than this to be convinced, personally. But let's see what conclusion she draws later on. Because he's got some cool footage, if nothing else. So he gets into some of the other tunnels and other areas. So let's jump ahead to that. That was a fake, or I thought that was fake. Let's see. Let's see what this is.
Yeah, so this is supposedly the entrance that was closed, forbidden. And this is
now he's talking about giant tunnels that stretch across the length of the continent, or the width of the continent.
That's a long ways. Looks like a highway.
Yeah, it's about 4,820 kilometers. So.
Ground tunnel. 4,800 kilometers. This is crazy. So these are photographs that people took while trying to actually get through this. Wait a minute, in ancient times, people could not have dug a tunnel that long. Could they?
Yes, they could.
They could have if they were smuggling.
We just have
stuff.
to quit assuming everybody before the light bulb was an idiot. People could dig tunnels. It was a thing that happened. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's how they survived back then.
Or
Was
maybe
they
it
would
was-
dig tunnels.
Maybe it was Quetzalcoatl's home before they went into the sky.
oh, there you go. That could be it. That could be it. That just annoys me. These guys always. This stuff wouldn't be nearly as spooky if you just quit assuming everybody before you was a moron. It's like, yes, they.
Yeah. And they're just claiming that the tunnel's there. Like there's no.
Yeah,
proof
they've got
of it.
some pictures and then a map. That.
Yeah, the map could be literally a
Yeah,
highway.
that's true. That's true. We didn't get a good look at the map, did we, to see what it could be? But yeah, I mean, but even if there were a tunnel that size, it wouldn't be that big a deal. Like, yes, people back then could do things. They were capable of building, and they did. I mean, blows your mind.
They might have been more capable back then than we are now.
Yeah. Bob Lazar had this really interesting concept that I've always found fascinating, you know, that you could have different types of tech. Like, people could be intelligent in different ways, you know. That alien noise is back again. Hang on. Oh, wait, now it's gone. They heard me call it out, so they stopped. Anyway, it's the Chinese.
Is it the connection on your
Huh?
headphones? Is it like the wire?
Yeah,
on
it's
your
the wire
headphones or
doing
something?
it. Yeah, but Bob Lazar had this idea that, you know, if you have different elements, if you have access to different stuff, your technology is going to develop differently. If you've got a civilization that's born in a different place in time, maybe they're not aware of electricity, but they're aware of something else that's going to influence the technology in a different way. Like, maybe these guys just had different kinds of technology that we don't have. You know,
Absolutely.
I think that's much more plausible than aliens. So,
Yeah, like our industry's based on petroleum, so it's like everything's, you know, we use gas engines. And
right, but if there's some vibrational form of energy like that Tesla theory, then you could have a completely different type of technology. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
I think that's plausible. All right.
Heck yeah.
All right, moving on.
Famous Incan road that is as long as 40,000 kilometers, which, by the way, is so long that even including modern highways, it would be the second longest road ever constructed. Good time to mention that they didn't use
I'm
a
gonna
wheel, right?
skip to the end because we've been kind of alluding to aliens off and on here, and that's where he goes. Let's see. But these are like.
Yeah, he jumps to aliens.
Which make no
later.
blasted sense to me, but.
Everybody just concludes aliens.
Yeah.
That's a popular thing
Yeah.
right now.
Because,
silly.
I mean, heaven forbid that your granddad be smarter than you. It has to be aliens.
Yeah. Don't you know everybody died at like 14 years
Right.
old?
Exactly. Yeah. There
was no old
They were
people
still
ever.
hitting their women with clubs and dragging in the caves back then. They couldn't have built tunnels. You insane?
They didn't have pitchforks. What are you talking about?
This is what
Hey, look, an ad.
to meet any brief. When the brief calls for
Hey,
complex
our first
structure,
ad of the
let
day.
AI map.
Was never proven.
All right, so now we're going to get into aliens, and we'll stay here for a few minutes and call it good.
Oh boy.
Aliens.
This is where this interview with this native comes in. This was published by Dakota of Earth in 2021 in Sonora, Mexico. Check this out.
This town, a lot of people are in communication with extraterrestrials.
The whole town.
And it's very common.
In contact with them, how?
Heck
Like
yeah.
through taking like medicine or just normal?
Just normal. His uncle who made this for us, he's all the time, if there's something, I don't know, a motor or something that needs to be repaired and nobody knows how to repair it, they go to him, and when he dreams, they come to him and they tell him how to fix it. And he fixes it.
And by dreams, he means YouTube.
DreamTube.
He finds a how-to channel and says the aliens did it.
The aliens, I talked to the aliens, man.
Oh, that proves it, guys.
And Pancho's father, he's traveling all of his life with them. They come and they take him to other planets, they train him, they cure him, they show him things. And a lot of people here are like this.
Says that the uncle also told him that where the water is very deep, they also go into the water and transforms into something else. Says that sometimes under the little boat, the water, they would see like a big circle, underneath it.
No son delfines ni era ni mantarraya grande, era un círculo grande.
It's curious how many of these tribes all over the world talk about seeing the same thing. UFOs, aliens, and how they possibly helped build some of these ancient sites.
Technically, it would be a swimming object, since it was under the water, but okay. Yeah, so basically these guys, if you couldn't hear that on the podcast, basically these guys are claiming that they're seeing, I guess, disc-shaped objects going through the water. That was all that was. Right. And they've got a big lexicon of aliens here. I think that's the right word. Doesn't matter. And they're going to show it to some tribal guys, and the tribal guys are going to say, "We seen that one."
Não, mas folheia aqui, vai. Vê se vocês já viram algum ser desses aqui. É só uma curiosidade, gente. Pode folhear se quiser. Isso aqui você já viu alguma coisa assim?
Esse chama-se Mayushibu.
Isso aqui?
Sim.
Mayushibu.
Mancunawabu.
Sério?
In that language, it actually means
No.
bull crap and bull crap. So,
Yeah, it's just making
Yeah.
stuff up, dude.
the over-the-top headdress wasn't a clue. These aren't showmen or
Right,
anything.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we've beaten this dead horse. I'm
Oh, it's beaten and kicked.
so much more interesting when I watch this by myself. When we get in a group, though, and I start watching it, I'm like, what was I thinking? This is stupid. Anyway. All right. Well, I'm done with this unless anybody's got any final thoughts. You're good? All right. Trevor, you good?
Yeah.
Let's roll
on. All right, so we're going to move on to part 3. Speaking of aliens, we're moving on to P. Diddy. So if you are on the live stream, keep going. We're going to talk about P. Diddy. And if you're watching this after the fact, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Faith, Fiction, and Folklore. If you did, we would love it if you would subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Rumble We can also be found on X, Instagram, and Facebook. And we are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. Thank you again very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.